everyone, my name is Lindsay and I'm with Love from Cairo. Today's video is about the best places, in my opinion, to go as an expat in Cairo, as well as the fun tourist places that I would highly recommend to anyone who's going to come and visit Egypt. The first attraction that I would recommend to any tourist coming to Egypt is of course the Pyramids of Giza. The Pyramids of Giza are not located in Cairo city, they are located in Giza. Giza is on the opposite side of the Nile from Cairo and is just a short drive away from Cairo. The pyramids cost about 200 Egyptian pounds for foreigners to enter. This ticket allows you to enter into the pyramid complex and see and touch all of the pyramids. There are 3 pharaonic pyramids and 3 queen pyramids. Once inside the pyramid complex, you can ride a camel or even take a horse-drawn carriage around the pyramids. Just remember that you'll need to use your negotiation skills to negotiate the price for either your carriage ride or your camel ride. But I promise, that is usually the highlights of everyone's visit to the pyramids is riding a camel. As you're leaving the pyramid complex, you're going to approach the Sphinx. A popular thing to do with the Sphinx is to kiss the Sphinx. You'll need a friend to help you take this picture, but what you want to do is be on the side of the Sphinx and you'll do a kissing face while your friend takes the picture of the Sphinx facing you. It's always a fun thing to do at the end of your pyramid adventure. As an expat living in Cairo, a fun place I would recommend to any tourist or expat is a street cafe. Street cafes have delicious tea and coffee, but they also have shisha, which in America we call hookah. And the shisha is something that you can do. You can sit, you can smoke shisha and just watch people go by, or you can have a nice coffee. I think my husband would say to drink a Turkish coffee while you're here in Egypt. The next place I would recommend to all my tourist friends is the Egyptian Museum, which is located in Tahrir Square in downtown Cairo. The Egyptian Museum is amazing. It's filled with lots of artifacts from ancient Egypt, and it only costs 120 Egyptian pounds to go inside. One of the coolest exhibits you can visit inside the museum is the King Tut exhibit. The King Tut exhibit has one of the most famous Egyptian artifacts of all time in it, and that's the gold mask that King Tut's mummy wore inside his tomb. All of the artifacts were discovered in Luxor and have since been moved to the Egyptian Museum for safekeeping and exhibits. When you're in Egypt, I highly recommend trying some of the local bread. We call it baladi bread. Baladi is Arabic, specifically Egyptian Arabic, for my country. And so this is the bread that Egyptians eat. It's delicious, it's got a different texture than any bread I've ever eaten, and it goes quite well with the food here. The next attraction that I would recommend is the Cairo Citadel. And I would recommend this for expats and tourists alike because the Cairo Citadel is an old fort that was built on one of the highest points in Cairo, and it has some very unique things about it. Inside the Citadel are 2 beautiful mosques. The biggest mosque is called the Muhammad Ali Mosque, and it is gorgeous. There's also a smaller mosque that is equally as beautiful that I cannot remember the name of. But these mosques are gorgeous and are open for tourists to go inside and see. Most mosques in Egypt that are open for tourism are extremely welcoming for foreigners, especially if you are not of the Muslim faith. So if you go in, ladies, you can go in without covering your hair. However, I would highly recommend bringing a scarf to cover your head out of respect. You can also try to dress as modestly as possible when going inside a mosque. You never know who might be there to worship. The best part about the Citadel is that it's on a high point in Cairo, and on a clear day when pollution is low, you can even see the pyramids all the way from the Citadel, which is quite a sight to see. Cairo houses over 20 million people and can be quite overwhelming to look at, but the view on top of the Citadel is worth it. Make sure when you're in Cairo that you try one of the Egyptian national dishes. It's called koshari. Koshari is a delicious carb-filled food that has a little bit of everything in it. There's garlic, there's tomato sauce, there's fried onions, there's chickpeas, lentils, rice, and pasta. It's delicious and you won't find it anywhere else. Give it a try. Another place that I would recommend visiting if you're in Cairo is the Cave Church. This church is located in a part of Cairo called Mokattam. In order to get to the Cave Church, you must go through what is known as Garbage City, which is quite extraordinary, but can be kind of tricky if you don't have a tour guide with you. The Cave Church is a massive church built into the mountain. This is not an ancient site. Actually, I believe the church was built in the 70s. However, it is quite amazing to see the architecture as well as the sculptures that are within the church. It's very beautiful and it is worth a trip to Garbage City. Another place that I would recommend to any tourist coming to Egypt is the Saqqara Pyramids. The Saqqara Pyramids are actually older than the pyramids of Giza and are actually smaller, step-like pyramids. This pyramid complex is a little more ruins than the pyramids of Giza, but it's still worth a trip, and it's very interesting to see the different styles of pyramids in Egypt. The last tourist attraction I would recommend to anyone coming to Cairo is the Khan Khalili Bazaar. The Khan Khalili Bazaar is exactly what it sounds like. It's a big bazaar where you can buy lots of different trinkets and souvenirs to take home with you. Of course, this is a bargainer's paradise. Remember, everything is up for negotiation and all bets are off. Enjoy your trip to Egypt.